Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay, not too bad. Got up before the sun came up, and um, I seem to be getting back into my normal routine, maybe. And it's been over a decade. I mean, I have occasionally through the years, but with all the health problems I had and other things, but getting up and getting my exercises done and a little bit of housework. And I've been outside, and we got all kinds of rain last night, so the rain barrels were filled up, and that's great. So, yeah, in that respect, the day is going pretty good. I hope yours is too. Just a minute. Cheers, everybody. Oops, I got it kind of full. A lot of witches out there. It's really hard for to grasp the amount of people that have been turned out off by all their religions that have become infected with lies, and then the people that say they are of a certain religion and maybe don't act so spiritual and end up hurting, like especially the youth, like adolescents right now are the ones that are being attacked by like well, either people like in the film or music industry, or certain world leaders, or people in their lives that they look up to or did look up to, that ended up causing them more harm in their life than good. And I think all of us have probably been through that at one point or another. The wise ones come to the conclusion that there is a God and He loves us. The unwise ones believe that the control that is in this world at this time seems to be the way to go because it makes people feel like they have more material things in this world if you go along with the satanic regime type of thing, like if you bend on your values and virtues and morals, you'll have more in this life than if you were to stand strong and not overlook any virtues that you know that you should be having, that type of thing. In particular, um, I have to say this delicately or not say it at all. Just a minute. Mm, Maybe just saying it is the way to do it. There's a witch around my granddaughter, not her mother, but or anybody in her household. But yeah, beware. It's a fact. Um, so yeah, that's what I was thinking on. Not quite sure what this video was going to be about, except for the fact that people, I don't think they're really turning away from God any more than they always have been. I just think it's more apparent to us and, each other, like whose side of the equation we're on, because in the mathematical world, there's different ways to do an equation to come out with the same outcome or appear to come out with the same outcome. So, what I'm saying, it may look like it's the same, it may look like it's not harmful, but it is. So, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I thought I'd get on here and just talk for a little bit here, and uh, not much more going on today for me. I'm not sure. We did get that cherry picker winch in our house yesterday, um, because it's heavy, and um, so to do it today and then do more work to go along with it for Doug would have been really hard. So I just told him, let's just get it in here today. I was a little bit freaked out because, like to pull a motor out of a car, these things don't look that big in a shop. They look very big in a kitchen. So, not directly in my kitchen where I cook or anything, off to the side, more a dining area. But yeah, that thing, we both were tripping over it last night, and then Doug had to move it to the side, sorta. And um, I thought that too before, because he had come in, he was saying something to me, and he had gas fumes all over him. And I'm highly allergic. I'll start like puffing up here, and my skin will break out. I mean, immediately I smell it, and that's it for me. And so I said to him, he's talking. I said, excuse me, you have gas fumes on you. I have to go. And I had just got clean. And he's like, well, can you let me finish? I said, no. You know, these types of things, because like I say, I am highly allergic to petroleum products, not just a tiny bit. It could cost me my life, like arrhythmia, like heart problems, heart palpitations, and so it's a serious thing that he doesn't take serious. So yeah, I had made a meme um, that said something about that on there about gas fumes, no problem or no big deal or whatever, because he just does not care, you know. It'll appear like he does, but it's like we have a friend, a mutual friend, Doug and I, in a group that he has over on Facebook, Patriots Unite. And this one man in particular, normally for me, when I address like a man and a woman that are married, I will say like the man's name first and then hers to indicate the head of the family. But when this man wrote about Doug and I, he put my name first. Well, he knows because, um, yeah, Doug's a lion, but he's not playing on my side, you know. So, different type of lion, you know. Uh, uh, More like a saber-toothed tiger in a lion outfit, you know. So, anyway, if some of you don't know, I'm not, I'm sort of stuck in my life right now, but Doug does have a letter of divorcement he can take in and just hand it over to the court at any moment. I did this well over 10 years ago, maybe going on 15, not quite sure, but I just did that to indicate, like, look, do what you want to do, but leave me out of it and don't call me your wife while you're doing it, because I've never felt like I have been a wife to anybody. So stick it where it fits, type of thing. So we have a weird relationship that um it's, I don't know, not really a friendship. It's not close or warm or anything like that. Like, I got up early, he got up, and I thought he was staying up, but I said hello, and you hear the crabby. I don't know if you're around that. I don't know if you wake up bubbly and you're in a good mood, but so I try and wipe that out of my mind, but it's not an easy thing to do, you know. So, that really kind of is my topic for today, is remaining happy in an environment where people pretend to be happy. Like all this stuff on the media and on all kinds of media where people are like, oh, we're all spiritual and we love, love, love each other. And yeah, but then why don't you act like you love each other? Everybody's out there, oh, I love you. Yeah, no, you don't. You say you do, but do you really? Would you lay your life down for another human being? How much do you actually love them? Love, love, love. That's my point. Everybody's out here, oh, we love not one another. Not very many people actually do, is what my point is. So, we might get an interruption, but we'll work through it. So, but yeah, well, that one love motto that was going around real strong about 10 years ago was more of a part of the agendas, more of the satanic, because we are supposed to overlook love thy neighbor. And then I looked up the word neighbor for it, and the root word of the etymology of the word neighbor means someone in close proximity. Doesn't mean everybody in the world, but people want to insist that yes, it does. No, it does not. It means like-mindedness. That's the base meaning of neighbor. And you can love human beings for, being human, but do you like them? You know, are you loving your neighbor? Are you loving people in the world? I love my neighbors. I don't like everybody in the world, you know. But people will do this, and thou shalt not judge. What about the parts in the scripture where Jesus instructs us to judge and to have self-righteous judgment? What about all those parts? Yeah, they want to pick out the parts that suit themselves for that agenda. So we overlook the wrongs that people are doing to other people, and we're just supposed to forgive it. No, not everything is forgivable. Of course, the ultimate, uh, God is the ultimate judge of all that, but we are instructed to judge everything and question everything. Even about the scriptures, he said, don't believe me, question everything, so we can decipher what is maybe been changed or what hasn't. So, does it seem feasible to you? Now, yeah, yeah, love your enemies. There's another one. Well, yeah, from very far away as a human being. Do I like them? Still again, no, I don't. Why would I like somebody that wants me dead? Yeah. The best love I could give to that is to ask God to go in their hearts, and that's about it. That's the most loving thing I could possibly do. But as far as not saying anything about what a person is doing or why they are doing it, yeah, so I'm not going to be quiet on that. I don't think you should either. If you have somebody crappy in your life and they think they're doing it on the down low, expose them. Who cares? They don't care about you anyway. You know? Does anybody else? Well, you'll find out. So I'll keep my dignity and not feel like a low life because somebody else treats me low, and I'll expose them and have the level of love that they show me in the equation. That's not one love. There are two sides to this, and it's not of the same coin. So, anyway. Can't believe that people are actually stupid enough to dive into witchcraft and wizardry and spell casting and rituals and the rest their garbage and think that they're um, going to come out unscathed, that there aren't any consequences for the misdeeds that you do to other people, even if it were like spell casting for love or whatever. That's not the way we go about things on this planet. Our Creator did not make us to do magical things, because it isn't magic. It's trickery and foolery, and always leads to the dark force is behind that, period. And how I know? Because not only have I studied everything, I dwelled into it a little bit as far as what I thought was white magic when I was about 15 years old. And I learnt my lesson that there is no such thing. But then I had enough God in my heart where when he was telling me no, I listened. But a lot of people don't nowadays, and so they're diving into these spells and different things that they'll do, and they don't think twice about it. They don't think there's anything that bad that's going to happen to them because of all that. So, hey, you giving me that? What's that? What is it? Oh, okay. Was that supposed to be you and me? Is that supposed to be you and me? No, it's a shirt to wear. Okay. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Does anybody know what that is? Thanks. Have no clue. Some kind of a cartoon. Yeah, it looks like it. I don't know what Kronk is. Mm-mm. Cartoon character? Must be. It's like a warm shirt, you know? Yeah, it does. So anyway, there are consequences for any time that we use satanic force, and God has his own, it's not magic, his own energy that we draw off of. That's right where I was going with that. I know. Just a minute, excuse me. What? I am making a video. Hello. Hey, say hi.
Hi. What do you think? From triple X to extra large.
Oh, good.
How about that?
Yeah, not bad.
Looking good. You like your shirt?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Goodbye.
Why didn't you like it?
Yeah, no, I got it for you.
Oh, okay, thanks.
You have to have shirts, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I just burnt one the other day. I needed
pants to get work in the store.
Yeah. Just burn a hole in one of my favorite shirts. Well, it wasn't one. Yeah, it was an okay one. So, but I can use it for work. But yeah, no big deal. I got all kinds of clothes anyway. But yeah, the reason I feel that I have I feel like I'm a little bit intelligent. I feel like that's a God-given gift, and if I were to be diving into the spirituality of witchcraft, I would be one dumb thing. That's my opinion, because I have never met anybody that dives into witchcraft, and I was raised by them, that really was as smart as I was when it really came down, when it really boiled down to the essence of the tincture. So the extraction of the whole thing when they raised me, I was little, there wasn't a lot I could do about it. But when I got older, there was, and nothing they tried could beat me. So, what does that make them intelligent? Obviously and evidently not. You know, that'd be about as stupid as me standing in a room full of gas fumes when I'm allergic to it. I don't know. Yeah, anyway. But that would be stupid. Yeah, even when I go to the gas station, I'm really careful that I'm like, take very few breaths and different things. Through the years, I've had to protect myself, even working on cars or getting grease on me or whatever. Yeah, it's painful. Like my skin will break out, and I got some on my hand one time. My whole hand was red and the skin was peeling off. And well, petroleum isn't good for anybody. It's just like margarine. It's only one molecule away from being plastic. Doug used to work as a lab tech when he was a teenager, and I think, yeah, for soybeans and like the emulsification of things to make that emulsifier to put into foods as additive. So he knew about that like way back when also. But yeah. So anyway. Oh yeah, he's not stupid. Just acts like it sometimes, and he'll say no, he doesn't, but I would consider anything that is connected on the dark side of things stupid. So there's a Star Trek um, episode, the first Star Trek, and they had gone onto this planet where the people of the Enterprise looked like they were highly intelligent. And of course, they were to these other beings, but they're like, we like smart. That's one of our jokes around here. We like smart. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we do. I can really appreciate if somebody's smart and they have God in their heart. That's really all I want to be around. I don't want to be around people that don't have a regard for their creator. And religion really doesn't play a part in that to me. But the Word of God is written on our hearts. We all know what's right and wrong. Here's the scenario. It'd be like, you have everybody there, love, love, love. It'll be like on a live stream or something. People are like, love, love, love. And you say hi, and all these lovey dovey mofos don't even say hello to you or something. Yeah, you're really loving, that type of thing. It's like speaking out of both sides of their mouth. Oh yeah, we're so loving, but we're cold as mofos. Yeah, I've come across that quite a bit. Not just with me, but with other people. There's people I know that listen to me, and like they'll be on a live stream, and like there's a Daryl Calhoun. I he says hi to everybody and sends love to everybody on every live stream I've ever seen him on. He doesn't ignore anybody if he can say hello to them. I like those kind of people. I've done that a lot. I kind of backed off on doing it as much as I have. There's a lot of people that were like decades younger than me that would take like, "Hi, everybody, I love you," or whatever, they'd take that out of context or try and paint me into something that I wasn't, or, whatever. Maybe not as much as it used to happen. But then there are women my age that will date or marry people that are the age of their children. Oh, that's so repulsive. All I see when I see people the age of my children, you know. Yeah. Well, there's men and women out there that carry themselves with more dignity than the normal person, and I give them a little more credit than just their age. There's several of them, hundreds, maybe thousands, not sure, but yeah, there's some that aren't my age that I would give that credit to. Like, yeah, your age doesn't matter because I can see you're doing things the right way, and we all learn, you know. Well, no, we all don't learn. Some some pretend they learn, you know. Yeah. I'm trying to get over. I've got this shirt he just brought in is from the thrift store, and it smells like mothballs. Another thing I'm allergic to, so right now I'm a little, I can't prove it was intentional. How dare I think something so innocent would be a ploy to attack my old sensory perceptions, but it is. Oh, and nothing's an accident. I don't believe. In fact, for a minute. So, yeah, I'm gonna go put it in the laundry. I wash everything, even if it's brand new, it doesn't matter. Or if it says pre-washed or whatever, I wash it, you know. And especially dark clothing, the dyes that are in like black material, they say like red and yellow dye and food additives and that type of thing's really bad. But the dyes that are used, and it used to be a lot of ink, actual ink in black, um, and it's really bad. You need to wash it a couple times. I'd rather have a faded black shirt than just a brand new one or whatever. I don't wear a lot of black. I started wearing it. Well, I used to. I went through a stage where I wanted to be left alone, and it worked. So I'd wear a little more darker colors, and then I just kind of got out of that because, see, that is a lot of people might know, you might not know, but the colors in the certain crafts that people use on this planet, wearing black gives them kind of a note of invisibility from the satanic force towards other people. If it's, be careful of people wearing black. That's all I'm saying. Even if I do, whatever. I'm telling you the truth. It's like a lot of people, I don't know if you're aware of this, makeup has heavy metals in it, especially like they're like this is mineral based or what? Uh, okay. What minerals did you use? Copper. Bad for you. Did you know that you can get too much copper in your diet and it's actually poisonous for you? Um, uh, zinc oxide is a byproduct. It's aluminum. There's a lot of, and perfumes and jewelry. Um, Jewelry can be used against you as the electronic force of it on your body. Um, a ring on your finger connected to the vein that goes directly to your heart. All of this um, can be really dangerous to you. It really can. If you're wearing jewelry, just be aware that it's an energy conductor, especially metals, but stones also. The least damaging are pearls. I'm not sure why, I've just noticed that. Um, I'm allergic to almost everything. Well, I'm not pearls, but I can only wear platinum and sterling silver. I'm allergic to gold, white gold, everything else. So all all metals. But it is true about the jewelry. It's true about rayon and nylon and polyester. These are conductors of electricity that are in our materials that a lot of things in our homes are made out of, and they can be used in witchcraft against us. The same with perfumes and um, food additives and vitamins. You have to be careful. You can get an overload on them, but the heavy metals that are actually in there that may not be as good for you as what you've been told, like copper and zinc. Those are two of them. I'm not saying your body doesn't need them, but you can get an overload on them. So that's why when people were like pushing that copperware for the elderly, I was strictly against it. It's like, oh, oh no, 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 do not put a heavy metal next to your varicose vein. That's so dangerous. It's not even funny, you know. And I tried it. Just we got some kind of like free sample or something of like a sleeve of copperware for like your ankles or whatever. I think it's when I broke my toes or something. At one point I had put these things on, and I did know about my allergies, but I thought the cloth and the copper is woven in there. I thought the cloth might protect me from that, but it didn't. So, yeah. Let's see what else is dangerous. Oh, it is physically damaging to you no matter what you eat or drink to not be aware of where that energy comes from. And if you look at it like a muscle, like the protein from an animal is like the masculine energy, and you look at like um, plant-based being like more the feminine energy, just if you look at it like that, there might be a reason, and I'm saying there is, but if you look at it, why the push for everybody to be so vegan? Are they eating of the female energy unknowingly, not having their meals blessed by themselves before they consume that? And did you know there's a story in, what was it? Sumerian tablets or the emerald tablets, not quite sure which one, where one of the brothers actually let his semen on that garden that his other brother was going to consume. So in a sense, he put his sperm on the salad of what his brother was going to consume by putting a part of his self in his brother, type of thing. Well, it's kind of the same principle as what I'm getting at with this, not realizing where your food comes and the witchcraft that they use and the things that are actually going on this planet, you know? I mean, the sacrifice of um, the calf or whatever, that's kind of been widely known, but you wouldn't think the sacrifice of a head of lettuce, you wouldn't look at, you'd probably laugh. Well, they say plants are alive. Actually, um, things still have life in them, the vegetation, right up to the point of where you cook it and consume it, or if you eat it raw. So, and it's a real thing. So, oh, there's all kinds of stuff going on. But what I just told you about all that, it's absolutely and entirely true. Why do you think the rabbis bless their food and it's kosher and they're very careful what they consume, from my understanding, because they know their bodies will suffer if they don't do it right. Of course, some of them are working for the dark force, not all of them, but some of them, and who is giving them their blessing may not be the same as my creator, you know. So, in fact, I know it isn't. They don't believe in the Son of God. They don't believe that God and Christ are the same, you know. Some people don't, some people do. You know, I still praise God, and we're not meant to praise, well, yeah, give praise to Christ, but it's all glory to God. It doesn't say all glory to Christ. I'm not demeaning what he did coming down into this flesh to help us get out of that. That's not the part of the Father that he carries that is true within that, but he's still an individual person. And that for our salvation, we give him glory, but God's still the creator, although Christ was with him in the beginning. In their minds, you know, their minds are like, their hearts are identical, or were. Yeah, they were. Have to think on that one for a minute. I don't know. I believe there's some people that don't carry the Christ spirit, or if they do, it's more like how a human would react after being crucified. They don't carry the graceful part. They carry the more heathenistic attitude of what would come after that, you know? It's like if you have two people and they were both beat up and you go to lift them up and you lift the one up, they're like, oh, thank you for giving me a helping hand. I was like down there. I couldn't help myself, you know? Then you go and grab somebody else's hand and they freaking bite you and they're like, I just got beat up. What more do you want from me, you know? that type of feeling. It's like, dude, I was just trying to help you up. Didn't have to bite me, you know. You're lucky I don't kick your ass while you're down there, you dumb bastard, you know. But so the two different people might not be an entirely evil person, but the Christ Spirit just has not entered them yet, and that's on God's timing. So some of them, every knee will bow, and some of that will just be because they won't be able to move, and every mouth will confess. So it might be the very last day if you have a loved one in your life that isn't a very nice person. Um, and they can probably pretend to be, especially after meeting you, you know. You study someone for 30 years or whatever, you're going to be able to emulate them really well, you know. So, so yeah, I believe some people are just going to be miserable and internally bitter, maybe till the day they die, maybe thereafter. I don't know. I'm not them, so I can't say definitively. I just going on my own experience. But no matter what happens, I never, ever want to be miserable and unhappy or in a bad mood for any extended period of time. You know, temporary something, a little crabby, or you don't feel well, or whatever, that's to be expected. But if it's like a lifestyle, oh, God, keep me away from them, and keep them away from me, you know. Have you ever noticed, it's not just like the weight of a piece of jewelry on your skin, but have you ever noticed the energy of the thing? Like in a marriage, that ring between you and your spouse, there's actual literal energy. And if you take that ring off, you can actually feel it even when it's not there. It's a weird feeling, but it's actually a true thing because the forces, the spirits are working through that, either one or the other. If you don't marry and if you have a godless relationship, you'll suffer with that jewelry on your finger. If you never had a ring, I went, well, I wouldn't say you're lucky, but maybe you are. But just beware of that. I mean, it's just added protection. So when ladies or gentlemen, when you put, you know, like, hopefully the men aren't going to uh, put their earrings and makeup on and put a little bit of um, perfume or whatever. When you're doing all this, these are layers that the dark force can use against you. Just be aware of that while you're doing that. The more you become aware of these things, the more you can guard yourself against it, you know. Let's see. I was so happy. I'm happy I've been getting up early. I just love watching. The sun wasn't really coming up today because we had rain, but just getting up before even the feral kitties I take care of outside, even before they get awake and they come out, and to be up before them, that's a good thing for me. So, I hope 007, if you watch this, Richard Avery, the 007 channel, his birthday was yesterday. I hope he had a wonderful one. Um, yeah, I hope you got gifts. I actually hope you have enough money to pay for your rent and food and some pleasures in life. So that was my wish for you. He did a really good rendition of Fleetwood Mac's Landslide. I love that song. I'm a pretty big, used to be a huge Fleetwood Mac's fan. I like Stevie Nicks, and yeah, she was into witchcraft, and it was what people consider like light magic or whatever. And there is another level to what she was going through, but what she's going through now, and you don't see her a lot out in the media because I know she's suffering. I can sense it. Because things didn't go as planned in a lot of ways for some of these people that sort of put themselves out there, but it was in the in between, like not standing exactly tall, you know, but sorta, you know. And that's not a judgment call, that's just like a younger spirit that I recognize will have to go through a whole lot more to excel. And so I'm trying to help people excel a little quicker without those barriers in between, and how to actually have more of a connection with our creator without them dark forces being able to get in at you. So, but you do have to be fearless in a sense, you know. You have to put your faith in God, and I know that's easy for people to say, but it hasn't been so easy to live. And what I'm telling you is absolutely truth. And also, I will say that I really don't believe in, now that there's more like gathering, people gathering, and they have God in their hearts. It could be a channel with somebody that you like, and it's a peaceful atmosphere. That's more like a church. I would recommend that for people more than I would any set religion. That's just me personally. I wouldn't recommend, and I'm an licensed ordained minister, but I would not recommend anybody going to a church. Even the scriptures say that Christ can no longer be found in the churches. That's that says a lot, but you don't hear preachers preaching that one, you know. And they could try and change that any way they want to change it. I've really looked into that one sentence right there, and it's absolutely true from my observation. Now, you could have like one or two people within that church, probably only one. And in order for any grace to be on that church, there would have to be two. Uh, And there just isn't in a lot of cases. Maybe not even the minister themselves. They could be out of sorts. When I was working in, we own a body shop, and I owned one a long time ago too. But I was working in a body shop, and people that work on other people's cars, the ministers had the most pornography in their cars, um, compared to the average human being. That's interesting fact, isn't it? It's true. And I've had like so-called pretty big name ministers try to like paw all over me. Um, Not very Christ-like, you know. Yeah. But have you ever put on like okay your jewelry, but like ladies, have you put on like any lipstick ever? And that a lot of times has castor oil in it. Castor beans are poisonous. Look at your makeup and look at a list of toxins. If you're unsure, you can find many lists, but like makeup toxins, you maybe Google that or whatever. Um, isn't it a little unnerving to know that a lot of what you're putting on your skin was designed to poison you and weaken you? You're probably very beautiful without your makeup. A lot of people don't think so, but you probably are. You might look more like a clown with your makeup on, you know? Uh, I don't know, but I'm assuming you might look better without it. I sent around a meme that I thought was I love it. It was like um somebody with them weird eyebrows, and it's like, ladies, just let me help you with your makeup. I just want to fix your eyebrows, something like that, Like, don't they think they look weird? Well, anyway, I think they look very weird, you know. Anyway, yeah, castor beans. There's something else too. Well, and the red dyes and what they're made out of, like beetles and poisonous insects. There's a one for the red dye. Um, it comes from it's an aphid type thing that's related to the cockroach that actually has bacterium like that in that makeup. You know, there was something else, not just the heavy metals or the castor beans. There was something else. Um, it's right on the tip of my tongue. I'll get it. I think something to do with fish. I'll get there. I'll get there in a minute. Cod liver oil is not good for you if you didn't know. Um, there's science behind that to prove that. I'm not just spitting these things out. These are like studies and medical journals and articles and scientific articles that I've actually studied. Um, Not only knowing that the different things that they were going to use to implement against people, like sound and music and um, special effects and whatever. But, like even with these so called um, rhythms that you're like music for relaxing, did it occur to anybody that maybe this is satanic and it isn't as relaxing as what you think? That type of thing. Yeah, got to be really careful if you get any weird kind of little tinge of a feeling when you're listening to something. Just be aware that it's probably a tool that's meant to harm you in some way. Sound can literally break down the structure of your cells and your body. All the things I'm talking about can, you know. It's almost like screech on a chalkboard for some of you that are old enough to experience that. That's what that feeling feels like inside of you when you encounter something that is like on the satanic side. You get a feeling inside you that feels like that scratchy chalkboard feeling. Or have you ever known anybody with a voice that just rips you up? It's like you just cannot listen to it for one more moment because there's something so disharmoniously off that it kind of just wavers your cells, you know. This is all true stuff, and people actually practice crafts that they do to implement these things on other people, you know. I know people that will change the tone of their voice to annihilate you or I because um, they know the damage that it's doing. You know, maybe some of you had like a mother that would get this certain tone in her voice and it didn't seem very motherly. It probably wasn't, you know, or fathers, you know, a lot of what yelling or whatever kind of considered the same thing, but not because you can hear somebody with more uh, softer tone, but it could be just off a little bit, like a little squeaky or just weird. Or even somebody with like a baritone bass, but yet there's something off about it, you know? I am so glad that most women out on this planet have stopped talking in that baby voice and running their words together. When I was like about in my 40s and 50s, these little girls were like, and running all their words together, couldn't enunciate anything, and they thought they were cute by doing it. And I had to tell these people, I'd be talking on the phone with them or whatever, I'd be like, look, I'm not hard of hearing, I have excellent hearing, but I didn't understand what you said. Maybe slow down and enunciate your words and try and talk more like a woman instead of a little girl. And then I'll be able to have a conversation with you. But if you're just on here to talk to yourself in your baby voice, I'm out of here. You know, I had to tell several young ladies that. It's like even people that were like in an office setting, like a clerk in an office or in a um, medical clinic or whatever. And I'd be like, you know, you could do your job a lot better if you'd stop talking like a toddler, you know. But I know that's attractive to pedophiles. Like old men might think it's cute if they run across a 30 or a 40-year-old talking in a baby voice of a little girl, but the rest of the world, we think it's repulsive. Even guys that age, they were like running their words together, and it's like, well, that's a cute new language that you all have. When you're ready to join society, we will welcome you back in with open arms if you don't annihilate us too much in between now and then. I had somebody, I just cut her off. I was so done with her nonsense. It's somebody that's still in love with one of my sons, and her ooba gooba crap on the phone, just trying to annihilate me because she didn't get out of my kid what she wanted. It's like, I am so done with you. But now she's involving one of my grandchildren, and that's a different story. I might not be so done with her. Well, I am in a certain way, but not when it comes to my grandkids. I might be saying or doing something to this woman soon. Not doing something, but, you know, actively pursuing, shutting her stupid ass down when it comes to communicating with my grandchild, you know. So if the mother's watching, she's a witch. Yeah, and your instincts are right on that. You never said that, but I'm saying it for us. So just be careful of your teenager because she's very impressionable, and you really do not want her to emulate that thing. So just so you know. Um, yeah, that's probably enough said for today on that, but well, that's probably about it for today, everybody. I wanted to get this done and uploaded and make some of my new listeners aware of some of the tactics and things that go all along with not just the nanotechnology or what they call graphite or black goo or whatever, but the electronic forces that can be actually used through things you wear and eat and breathe and all this. It's a real thing. Be aware of the spiritual warfare that is conducted against you, and please do not get involved in any of the dark arts. They're crafts that need to be practiced. You'll be a lot more intelligent if you have a guiding light from within that you don't have to practice anything, and you will end up being far more intelligent and healthy for doing things the right way in a moral manner without any of the shenanigans. Don't get wrapped up in that um, one more satanic practice for you. Not entirely, but for the most part, there's a part of yoga like sun salutations, and it's nothing wrong with stretching and keeping physically fit. I'm a big proponent of that. But there's one in particular called sun salutations that opens up chakra for the satanic forces. When you're doing different kinds of meditations and practices like that, you don't have to practice God. He's already in you. You don't have to open up your chakras. Who's sitting in your temple is who's sitting in your temple already. So you don't have to practice anything. Just be aware of all that because I love y'all and I don't want you to be hurt. So appreciate you joining me. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good week ahead.